All right, we're back. Sorry, we lost a little bit of our signal there. The fire in Orion at the chemical plant is still going on, obviously. We're starting to see more white smoke, which you typically see more white smoke when the fire is cooler, it's getting cooled down. But it looks like you can still see some flames popping up over the top, especially like by the garage door area, that sort of thing, coming out the windows. Right there you can see a flare. Now, one of the interesting things about this fire is that we've seen lots of units responding, and part of the reason for the number of units is because there doesn't appear to be any fire hydrants or anything over here. So we saw on our way into town, we could see some of the tankers loading up water from in town so that they could come and they're cycling through. We saw some units leaving before that are now
another tanker
filling up. Yeah. You can see we've got tankers coming in, and then they cycle out, they leave, they go fill up, and they come back. So quite the team effort on the parts of all of the different moving parts here. Like I said, we're seeing huge response from multiple different units, multiple departments. We've got Cambridge on the ladder truck over there, Kelowna in the back, Orion, of course. Osco just showed up, looks like. So Osco has just shown up for the fire. This is located in Orion, at a chemical plant in Orion. Helena, I believe it's called Helena Chemicals. Yeah, you can see the sign right over there. There's Helena Chemicals. So the tanker's just shown up. Like I said, they've got to keep filtering in tankers because they have to keep cycling in water. There's no steady water source right here, so they have to keep filling out and then cycling through units. That's why it's such a huge effort on the part of everybody. Now, no word yet on any threat as far as chemical fumes. It doesn't appear that the firefighters are in hazmat gear, and we've been told we can stand here, so there doesn't seem to be an immediate threat of chemical fumes, but we're gonna follow up on that. We're gonna keep you posted as far as we know as this goes on. You can see the flames are starting to rise again. So, yeah, the building. My photographer's pointing out the building is just curling. It's just melting. The siding just looks like the fire is so hot, or the chemicals. I'm not sure which, but it's just such a volatile fire that it's just melting the side of the building, curling it in. There goes Kelowna Fire Rescue, cycling through again, possibly going to go get more water. Yeah, it does look.
Feel it here.
Yeah, if we were feeling the heat here, even though we're about 100 yards away. I know that there were some firefighters around the back, but no word on whether they're concerned whether the flames will spread, the heat will start to melt the siding on the silos, and what kind of issue that can cause. This is a chemical, either a chemical storage or a chemical plant, so no telling what is in the silos next to us. This is in Orion. Right off the main drag. In fact, when we heard dispatch talking about this, they said, just one of the other departments was asking for directions. They said, just come down the Orion drag, you'll see it. And we could see the smoke coming from miles away as we were coming. Oh man, those flames they're billowing so high up.
Gotta be 40 or 50 feet.
Yeah, definitely, at least 40 or 50 feet. Whoa! There's an explosion. So, like I said, there's obviously chemicals in there. This is a chemical plant, so no word yet on the volatility of those chemicals. But it looks like they're working to maintain the fire. Like we were saying earlier, one of the challenges with this fire is that there doesn't seem to be a water source incredibly close to this, so what we saw them doing was filling up their tankers in town. There's another explosion and a piece of debris flying up the top. We're seeing tankers filling up in town and then coming in, but you can just see, there's another explosion, you can just see the siding when it gets wet is just evaporating.
You want me to give you a little information?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. If you can give us any information.
Right now, multiple chemicals in there. There is no evacuation needed. What we're doing right now, we're cooling the building. We're hoping for it to just burn in place. We're getting a foam operation set up to attack the fire. That's about what we can do for now. There is no need for an evacuation. Everything is moving up and beyond. That's where we are now. So I just wanted you to know that. So
definitely. And
Steve, what's your first name?
Doug, D-O-U-G.
Thank you, sir.
And so you said there's no risk to, I mean, the vapors or anything from the chemicals, nothing like that?
Going up and it's moving across open fields. We're okay.
Okay.
If the wind would change, that changes our game plan. But
yeah. Okay.
Right now, we're just trying to cool the sides of the building to keep everything just collapsing on them.
Yeah, definitely. How difficult is it to contain a fire like this?
Very difficult. You can see there is no containing. I mean, we're keeping it within its walls, but the building's doing that, not us.
Right.
So,
right.
Anyway, okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
As more comes, I'll come out and talk to you guys.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. So that was the Orion fire chief just speaking with us. To reiterate what he said that the fire poses no evacuation risk for townspeople. He says the fumes are all going over open fields and that the wind is kind of helping them in that front. He said the fire is very difficult to contain. In fact, there is no containing something like this, that they're just trying to do what they can to cool it to prevent risk of spreading, but that the building is really helping them contain it, and that's, the building is their last line. We've been seeing multiple explosions from inside the plant. Obviously, they're working with chemicals here, so that's going to add some sort of complication to the fire. You can't just put out chemical fires the same way you put out a wood-burning fire. So we're going to keep you posted as this continues, but it looks like they're just going to be working to keep the fire cool and to kind of calm it down as much as they can. So just to reiterate, this is a chemical plant in Orion. We responded a little over probably 10 or 15 minutes ago. Fire trucks have been here for a while. One of the issues that they're having is that there's no sort of hydrants here to keep water, a constant stream of water. So you can see, like right here, Oxford Fire District right here. And we got Sherrard behind us as well. Fire departments from all over have to respond to this because they're having so many issues, containing it, and also with no steady water supply here, they're going to have to keep going back into town to fill up, so they're just constantly cycling out tankers and units to do that. But this is a very volatile fire. I will say there's a lot of cars that have been driving by that have been looking at it, slowing down. But if you're in the area and you're going to be driving past here, please do not slow down. Do not stall traffic anymore, because they have to get units in and out of here as fast as they can. So if you're going to be in the area, please be cautious and be courteous to fire departments, which are working very hard to continue fighting this blaze and getting water in here. Like I said, they're just trying to cool down the building. They're trying to keep it as cool as possible so that they can fight it. But like the chief said, there's just no containing a fire like this. The building is doing the best it can, but you can see the siding, the metal siding at the top, which was standing when we got here. The roof was pretty much had retained its shape when we got here, but by now it's just caved in completely. Yes, this is at the Helena plant in Orion. Yes, this is the Helena plant just outside of Orion. But this fire is very much going to be burning for quite some time, it looks like. They've been trying to cool it down. It's a little difficult to see from this distance where we're at, but you can see the flames behind the truck in the garage door. The fire is all the way down in the building. It's just, the flames are reaching from the bottom of the building to about 20 or 30. Whoa! And there's another explosion. About 20 or 30 feet above the building as well. No word yet on whether or not people have made it out. Well, no word yet about if there's any injuries or if anyone was in the building when it happened. No word on that yet. My photog and I have been out here for about 20 minutes, and you can feel the heat coming from the flames, and you can feel the shockwave of explosions as the chemicals inside are bursting. We spoke with the fire chief earlier. For those of you just tuning in, we spoke with the fire chief earlier, who said that because of the direction of the wind, there is no evacuation necessary in the town because the fumes from the chemicals are all going away from town. They're going into the open fields, and that's going to be fine. He said that they're going to have to change their game plan if the wind were to shift, but for now, there is no evacuation necessary. As the fire chief was saying, there's just no way to really contain this kind of a flame. The building is helping them to an extent, but when you're working with chemicals and fires, it's a little different than when you're working with wood. Chemicals react differently to water, and the flames are going to have a lot more volatility to them. This is in Orion at the Helena chemical plant, and as you can see, the flames are shooting up about 20 feet above the building, 10, 20 feet, all the way down to the bottom of the building. No word yet on if there's been any sort of injuries associated with this fire, but we're going to keep you posted as more information comes into us. Crews are just working to calm down the fire, to cool it as much as they can, but one of the main issues as we are here, one of the main issues we've been noticing is that it doesn't look like there's a steady water supply. So what they're having to do is they're having to go back into town to refill their tankers. That's why there's so many units from all over. There's Kelowna here, Oxford. We saw Cambridge on the ladder truck. Yeah, so the tanks can hold a couple thousand gallons, but it's just they're using so much water to get these flames out that they're going to have to keep going back and refilling. It looks like it's a pretty... the operation is going as well as it can. There's great communication between engines and people. They're getting people in here, cycling the units relatively quickly, and it seems like they're constantly trying to battle the flame. There's no breaks in it. No word yet on what chemicals are involved. We're going to keep you posted as it continues. Alright, well, looks like a few other fire trucks are arriving. We're going to keep you posted as more information comes to us, but for now we're going to take it back. We'll have more on this as soon as we get more information. We'll be back live again, keeping you updated as things continue here. But reporting from Orion, Owen Hoke, Local 4 News.